CJ Corporation is a South Korean conglomerate holding company headquartered in Seoul. It comprises numerous businesses in various industries of food and food service, pharmaceutics and biotechnology, entertainment and media, home shopping and logistics. CJ Group was originally a branch of Samsung until it separated in the 1990s. CJ comes from Cheil Jedang, which can literally mean best sugar, the industry where it originally started. Notable CJ subsidiaries include CJ Cheil Jedang, CJ Entertainment, CJ Entertainment and Media, and CJ CGV. History = 1953–1970 CJ was founded as Cheil Jedang in August 1953 as a sugar and flour manufacturer and was originally part of Samsung Group, as its first manufacturing business. In 1955, it opened the first flour mill in South Korea and in 1962, started exporting sugar to Okinawa, Japan. In 1965, Cheil Jedang's sugar business was branded as Baeksu. The company entered into the artificial seasoning markets in 1963 with Maipung, competing against Mwon, the then bestseller by Daesang. = 1970s In the 1970s, CJ continued its growth as a composite food company. In 1973 CJ entered into the feed business, launching Punglien Feed. In 1975, CJ developed mass production techniques for Dashida, a seasoning product, as well as technology for the mass production of nucleic acids for the first time in South Korea in 1977, launching its first nucleic acid seasoning, Mi. In 1979, the company was renamed Cheil Jedang Corporation and started producing cooking oil under Baeksu. = 1980s In the 1980s, CJ expanded to processed food items such as beverages and frozen foods, and entered the pharmaceutical business based on new advanced technologies. In 1984, CJ established ETI, a local subsidiary, in New Jersey, U.S. as a joint venture project. In 1986 CJ's biotechnology and pharmaceutics division succeeded in becoming the third in the world to develop alpha interferon, an anti-cancer medicine, as well as launching Heparin B, a hepatitis vaccine. It established Cheil Frozen Food and launched its beverage business in 1987. With the establishment of Cheil Jedang Indonesia in 1988 and the construction of a lysine and synthetic seasoning plant in Indonesia in 1990, CJ started reaching markets outside South Korea. = 1990s In the 1990s, CJ went through periods of conversion and growth as it transitioned into the area of life and culture from focusing on the food and pharmaceutical industry. However, it continued to develop new food products such as Condition, a supplemental drink that alleviates hangover symptoms, in 1992 and Heat Bun, an aseptic packaged rice, in 1996. In July 1993, Cheil Jedang spun off from Samsung and gained independent management, changing into a life and culture group by entering into the food service and entertainment industries. In 1996 it became Cheil Jedang Group and completed its official separation from Samsung Group in February 1997. Since then, CJ has entered into the fields of media, entertainment, finance and information and communication businesses mainly through M&As of companies such as Mnet, a music cable channel, and Cheil Investment and Securities in 1997, and establishments of new subsidiaries such as Cheil Golden Village in 1996, Dreamline, jointly with Korea Expressway in 1997, CJGLS in 1998, CJO Shopping, CJ Europe and CJFD in 1999. In addition, CJ opened VIPS, a family restaurant chain, in 1997, and launched South Korea's first multiplex theater, CGV, in 1998. = 2000 Present = In October 2002, CJ Group was launched and the official name of the company changed to CJ Company, Limited. In September 2007, CJ Company, Limited again spun off as a business holding company renaming to CJ Cheil Jedang Company, Limited, and CJ Group became a holding company for a number of food and entertainment-related subsidiaries based in South Korea. It consists of four main core businesses: food and food service, biopharmaceutics, entertainment media, and home shopping and logistics. Lee Jae-yun has been chairman of CJ Group since March 2002. His older sister Lee Mi-kyung is the vice chairman of the company. Starting from May 2007, CJ Group announced that it will be hiring more women in the company. It also announced that it will be doubling their allowance time for women who need to go on leave due to pregnancy. Korean law requires women be allowed up to 90 days of maternity leave. However, CJ has extended this time to 1 year. In 2010, CJ Media, CJ Entertainment, Mnet Media, On Media and CJ Internet merged to form O Media Holdings, which became CJ&M in March 2011. Since then, CJ&M has been highly influential in its contribution to Korean pop culture and a Korean wave, a phenomenon of the spread of Korean culture, through the creation of successful TV programs such as Superstar K, Respond 1997, and films such as Masquerade. Since introducing the first multiplex theaters, CGV, in 1988 to South Korea, the company has been developing what it calls Kyteoplex, a space where eateries, performance halls, shops and multiplex theaters come together to provide a more rich cultural experience to consumers. CGV Gyeongdam Sin City, which opened in 2011, being an example. Global expansion. CEO Lee Jae-yun has announced 2013 to be the start of CJ's full-fledged global expansion efforts, setting 2020 as their goal of achieving its vision of Great CJ. By 2020, the conglomerate hopes to reach 100 trillion won in sales, 70% of which they expect will come from abroad, and to grow into the world's number one at least two of its core businesses. As of 2013, CJ has penetrated into the global market throughout Japan, China, Europe, the US and South America. Food and food service taking Korean food abroad. CJ Foodville has launched bakeries and restaurants globally. Starting with opening a Cheil Jedang store, a bakery chain, in Los Angeles in 2004, CJ has launched a chain also in China and Vietnam, where double-digit sales growth is maintained. The first Cheil Jedang in Hanoi, Vietnam, opened in June 2012, and in December 2012, the 20th and 21st Cheil Jedangs opened in New Jersey and New York. Also brands of Foodville, VIPS and A2 Place have opened stores in China and Vietnam as well as other countries in Asia. Bibio is a bibimbap restaurant which CJ planned as a global brand from the beginning, opening in Los Angeles, Beijing and Singapore since 2010. It also opened its first store in London in 2012 during the London Olympics. Biotechnology and pharmaceutics in 2012, the construction of the $400 million nucleic acid factory in Shenyang, China was completed and will start producing animal feeds such as lysine and threonine and nucleotides in 2013. CJ is also constructing a lysine plant in Fort Dodge, Iowa, which is scheduled to start production within 2013, and CJ expects this will help reach 30% of the global market share within the year, topping GBT of China, Ajinomoto Company of Japan, and ADM of the US. Home shopping and logistics CJO Shopping, CJ's cable home shopping channel, entered into China in 2004, India in 2009, Japan and Vietnam in 2011, Thailand and Turkey in 2012 and the Philippines in 2013. CJ GLS and CJ Korea Express are the logistics part of the company that handles its international affiliates. CJ has exported its logistics system to India in 2011, Vietnam in 2011, soon after the launch of CJO Shopping, and Thailand in 2009, in which CJ GLS hopes to expand throughout the entire country by 2016. Entertainment and media CJ&M leads the Korean wave with its K-pop content business. Mnet Asian Music Awards was held in Macau in 2010, Singapore in 2011 and in Hong Kong in 2012 and 2013, attracting more than 1 billion viewers worldwide. CJ's movie business, is expected to open 15 IMAX theaters in China by the end of 2015. through new joint projects across China. Family feud. Although spun off from Samsung in 1993, CJ is still related to Samsung through family ties. The CEO of Samsung, Lee Kun-hee, is the younger brother of Lee Man-hee, the former president of CJ. The family came to the center of the media spotlight when Lee Man-hee and sister Lee Suk-hee filed civil suits against Lee Kun-hee, claiming that Lee Kun-hee had illegally acquired his inheritance by concealing parts of their father's, Lee Byung-chul, assets. As a remedy, they asked for shares of Samsung Life Insurance, which controls Samsung Electronics. Since then, the feud was highly publicized as the brothers were quoted in attacking each other through the media, and intensified after it was found out that a Samsung employee had tailed Lee Jae-yun, the chairman of CJ Group. In January 2013, the court ruled against Lee Man-hee on the basis that there was not enough evidence to prove that the dividends and proceeds of Samsung was part of the inheritance. Acquisitions: 1962 Wonyeong Industrial Colorado, 1968 Nippon Industrial Colorado, 1971 Dongyang Jedang, 1975 Yongjin Hog Farm, 1985 Dongripe Industrial Corporation, 1997 Mnet, Cheil Investment and Securities, 2039 Shopping, 2004 CJ Consortium, Shindongbang Corporation, CJ Internet, Planers, Hainal Pharmaceuticals Ind., Feed Plant in Turkey, 2006 Accord Express, 2007 Pioneer Trading, Incorporated, now CJ Omnifood, an American food manufacturing company, 2009 On Media, 2011 Korea Express. Subsidiaries Food and food service CJ Cheil Jedang's food division, CJ Foodville. Biboo, Shildramyeonsu, China Factory, CJ Food World, Cold Stone, Seafood Ocean, The Steakhouse by VIPS, Chesley Jose Tusum Place, Tusum Coffee, VIPS, VIPS Burger. CJ Freshway, CJ MD1, CJ Seafood. Home shopping and logistics CJO Shopping, formerly known as CJ Home Shopping, CJ Telenix, CJ Olive Networks, launched in merger of CJ Olive Young and CJ Systems, CJ Korea Express, acquired from the Como Asiana Group in 2012, merged with CJ GLS in 2013, CJ KIFT, acquired from the Como Asiana Group in 2012, O Shopping. Entertainment and media CJ E&M, CJ E&M Music and Live, record label, music events promoter, Core Contents Media, FNC Entertainment, Good Entertainment, Music Works, UK Music. CJ E&M Film Division, Film Financing, Production and Distribution, CJ E&M Broadcasting Division, owns various pay and cable TV channels, CJ Media, TVN, General Entertainment Network, Mnet Channel, Music Entertainment Channel, acquired in 1997, XTM, Men's Lifestyle Channel, National Geographic Channel, Factual Channel in partnership with NGC Networks Asia Fox International Channels, Insitit, Online Channel, Chunghwa TV, Chinese Channel, KM, Channel CGV, Chunghwa TV. On Media, acquired from the Orion Group in 2010, OnStyle, Fashion and Beauty Channel, Olive, Food Lifestyle Channel, OCN, Movie Channel also known as Korea's #1 channel, acquired from Daewoo Group in 1999, Catch On, Premium Drama and Movie Channel, Story On, Women and Female Lifestyle Channel, Super Action, Tooniverse, Cartoon and Kids Channel, OneMnet, Game Channel and host of Korea the Champions League of Legends Tournament. Baduk TV. CJ E&M Smart Media, CJ Games, owns CJ Enter's gaming teams, InterestMe, CJ E&M's official web and social portal, Mnet.com, Toonaland. CJ CGV, multiplex cinema chain, Sina Copyright de Chef. CJ Netmarble, CJ Hellovision, formerly known as CJ CableNet, CJ Powercast. Biotechnology and pharmaceutics CJ Healthcare. Infrastructure CJ Indonesia, CJ Superfeed, CJ Feed Jombang, Superonas Jaya, Agrobis Pankaj Kartama. CJ Engineering and Construction, Timewise Investments. Former subsidiaries CJ Cheil Jedang's Beverage Division, acquired by the Lotte Group in 2001, CJ Investment and Securities, acquired by the Hyundai Heavy Industries Group in 2008, now known as HI Investment and Securities. CJ Asset Management, acquired by the Hyundai Heavy Industries Group in 2008, now known as HI Asset Management. Champ Vision, also known as Champ TV, acquired by the Taekwang Group in 2011. See also, Economy of South Korea. References. External links, CJ Group website, English CJ Group website.